sleepy friend. Welcome back to the Sleepy Lantern. Tonight, we have another gentle bedtime adventure waiting just for you. So snuggle into your blankets, get nice and cozy, and let your sleepy eyes grow soft. Take a slow little breath in and a slow little breath out, because tonight's story is calm, gentle, and full of quiet magic. And whenever you're ready, our sleepy adventure can begin. Tonight's story is Little Fox and the Moon Garden. Somewhere beneath the silver moon, in a quiet little forest where the trees whispered softly in the wind, lived a very small fox named Fen. Fen was smaller than most foxes. His fur was soft and orange like autumn leaves, and around his neck, he always wore a tiny green scarf that felt warm and cozy on chilly nights. Fen loved many things. He loved soft breezes. He loved sleepy fireflies. He loved listening to the wind move through the trees. But most of all, Fen loved the moon. Every single night before bed, he would sit beside his little round window, curl his fluffy tail around himself, and whisper softly, "Good night, moon." And somehow, the moon always felt like a quiet friend, a gentle glowing light in the dark, something calm, something kind. But tonight, something felt different. The forest was quieter than usual, too quiet. Even the crickets seemed softer somehow. Fen climbed onto his little wooden chair by the window, wrapped his scarf tighter, and looked up toward the sky. His sleepy eyes blinked once, then twice. "Oh," he whispered quietly. The moon looked dim, not gone, just less bright than usual, as though someone had turned its soft glow down. Fen tilted his tiny head. "That's strange. Usually, the moon glowed warmly above the trees, bright enough to make the whole forest feel safe. But tonight, its silver light looked tired, almost sleepy, almost sad." Fen pressed his little paws against the window. "Are you okay?" he whispered softly. Of course, the moon didn't answer. Only clouds drifted slowly past, soft as sleepy blankets. Then suddenly, something fluttered outside. Very gently, like a feather drifting through the night. Fen blinked. A glowing silver leaf floated slowly past his window, twisting softly in the breeze, sparkling faintly. The little fox hurried to the door, opened it carefully, and watched as the silver leaf drifted quietly down onto the grass. Its edges shimmered softly beneath the moonlight. Curious, Fen stepped closer. The moment he touched it, the leaf glowed brighter. Tiny silver letters slowly appeared across its surface. Fen leaned closer and read very softly, "The moon garden needs help tonight." For a moment, everything became very quiet, even quieter than before. Fen looked up at the dim moon again, then back at the glowing leaf. His tiny heart gave the smallest nervous flutter. "The moon garden?" he whispered. He had heard stories about it before. Old bedtime stories. Stories whispered by owls and sleepy travelers. A secret garden hidden somewhere beneath the moonlight, where glowing flowers helped the moon shine brightly each night. But no one ever knew exactly where it was, or if it was even real. The silver leaf floated upward again, drifting slowly toward the trees, as though waiting, as though saying, "Come along." Fen looked back at his warm little house, his cozy blanket, his tiny bed. Everything felt safe there, comfortable, warm. But somewhere high above the trees, the moon still looked dim. And somehow, that made Fen feel a little sad. He wrapped his scarf tighter, took one tiny brave breath, and whispered, "Okay, I'll help." And very slowly, one sleepy little paw at a time, Fen followed the glowing silver leaf into the quiet forest. silver leaf floated quietly ahead, slowly, gently, like it had nowhere in the world to rush to. Fen followed carefully, one tiny step at a time. The forest felt different at night, softer somehow. The trees stretched high into the silver sky. Their branches swayed slowly in the breeze, whispering sleepy sounds to one another. Above him, fireflies blinked softly between the leaves, tiny glowing lights, like little floating stars who had forgotten their way home. Fen held his scarf close. The night air felt cool against his fur. Not cold, just sleepy, very sleepy. Still, something inside him felt nervous. What if I can't help? He whispered quietly to himself. The glowing leaf drifted ahead, as if it had heard him, as if it wanted him to keep going anyway. Soon, the little fox reached a narrow path he had never seen before. It shimmered faintly beneath the moonlight. Tiny silver stones sparkled softly beneath his paws, and growing along the edges were mushrooms, but not ordinary mushrooms. These glowed gently, soft blue, soft gold, soft silver, like tiny lanterns lighting the way. "Oh," Fen whispered, "they're beautiful." He walked slower now, careful not to disturb anything. The whole forest felt sleepy here, like bedtime had somehow grown into a place. Then, very softly, he heard something. A tiny sound, sniff, sniff. Fen stopped walking. The silver leaf paused too. The little fox blinked. Someone was crying. Very quietly, very sadly. He looked around. The path had grown darker here. Trees curled overhead like sleepy giants. Again, sniff, sniff. Fen carefully followed the sound. Around a sleepy little stone, beneath a glowing mushroom, sat the tiniest hedgehog Fen had ever seen. She wore a tiny knitted hat drooping over one eye and clutched a tiny lantern that had gone dark. Her little nose twitched sadly. Tears shimmered softly in her eyes. Fen lowered his voice immediately. "Hello." The little hedgehog jumped. "Oh," she blinked nervously. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be loud." Fen sat carefully nearby. "You weren't loud. Are you okay?" The hedgehog sniffled softly. "I got lost." Her tiny voice trembled. "I was trying to find the moon garden, but my lantern stopped glowing, and now everything looks scary." Fen looked at the tiny lantern in her paws. The silver leaf floated gently between them, almost glowing brighter somehow. "You're going to the moon garden too?" Fen asked quietly. The little hedgehog nodded. "My grandma grows moonflowers there. She said they help sleepy hearts feel safe." Fen looked toward the dim moon overhead, then at the silver leaf, then back to the hedgehog. "Well," he said gently, "you don't have to be scared anymore. You can come with me." The little hedgehog blinked. "Really?" Fen smiled softly. "Really? I'm a little nervous too." That made the hedgehog giggle just a tiny bit. "I'm Maple," she whispered. "I'm Fen." Maple held up her dark lantern sadly. "I wish this still worked." Fen looked at it carefully. Then, without warning, a tiny firefly drifted downward, slowly, sleepily. It landed inside Maple's lantern, and suddenly, the lantern glowed warm gold again. Maple gasped quietly. "It's glowing!" The tiny firefly blinked lazily inside, as if saying, "Well, someone has to help." Maple smiled for the first time all night. "Oh, thank you." The little firefly blinked once, then settled comfortably inside the lantern, as though it belonged there. Fen looked up ahead. The silver leaf had begun drifting again, slowly leading them deeper into the forest. Somewhere far away, soft wind bells chimed faintly, and above the trees, the moon still waited quietly in the sky. Dim, gentle, and somehow a little lonely. Fen took a tiny breath. "Come on," he whispered. "I think the moon garden still needs us." Maple continued along the glowing path. Slowly, quietly, the tiny firefly blinked softly inside Maple's lantern. Warm gold light danced gently across the forest floor. The deeper they walked, the quieter the woods became. Even the wind seemed softer here, like the whole forest was beginning to grow sleepy. Fen glanced up at the moon again. Still dim, still quiet, almost as though it were waiting for something, or missing something. Maple held her lantern close. "Do you think the moon garden is real?" she whispered. Fen thought carefully. "I'm not sure, but I hope so." Maple nodded. "I hope so too." Ahead, the glowing silver leaf drifted lower, very slowly, as though it wanted them to pay attention. The trees began to thin, and soon they reached something extraordinary. A bridge, but not made of wood or stone. It shimmered softly beneath the moonlight. Long silver vines curled together across the air. Tiny glowing flowers bloomed along the edges, and floating beneath it, clouds, soft sleepy clouds, drifted slowly below. "Oh," Maple whispered, "it's beautiful." Fen stepped closer carefully. At the entrance stood a tiny wooden sign, written in sleepy silver letters, "Moon Garden Path. Please cross gently. Dreams are resting below." Fen lowered his voice automatically. Maple did too. Together, they stepped onto the bridge. It felt soft beneath their paws, almost like walking on moss. The glowing flowers swayed gently beside them, and from somewhere below came the softest sound. Hum, a sleepy humming, slow, warm, like someone quietly singing a bedtime song without words. Maple looked down. "What's that?" Far beneath the bridge, tiny cloud creatures floated lazily through the night, round and fluffy, each carrying tiny glowing lanterns. "They look sleepy," Maple whispered. Fen smiled softly. "I think everything here is sleepy." Halfway across the bridge, something moved overhead. A soft flutter, then another. Fen looked up. Tiny silver birds drifted through the sky. Their feathers glowed faintly beneath the moon, and each one carried tiny glowing flower petals. Maple's eyes widened. "Moonbirds? My grandma told me stories about them." One little moonbird floated lower, circling slowly around Fen. Then Maple, then the lantern. It chirped softly, a tiny sleepy sound, almost like then gently dropped a silver petal into Maple's lantern. The firefly blinked happily. The lantern glowed brighter, warmer, cozy somehow. Maple smiled. "I think it likes us." The moonbird fluttered ahead, then stopped, as if waiting. The silver leaf floated toward it, and together they drifted farther along the path, leading the way. At the very end of the bridge, something shimmered softly in the distance. Golden light, silver mist, and beyond the hills, Fen could just barely see it. Something glowing beneath the moon. Rows and rows of sparkling lights, like stars blooming on the earth. Fen stopped walking. "Oh," Maple gasped softly. "Is that?" Fen's sleepy eyes widened. "The moon garden." But even from far away, something didn't feel quite right. Some of the glowing lights flickered weakly. Others had already gone dark. And above it all, the moon still looked dim and tired, waiting quietly in the sky. Fen and Maple stood very still. The moon garden shimmered softly ahead, beautiful, quiet, and somehow a little sad. From far away, the glowing flowers looked like stars scattered across the hills. Silver, blue, soft golden lights resting peacefully beneath the moon. But now, many of them flickered weakly. Some had already gone dark completely, like sleepy lanterns running out of light. Maple held her lantern tightly. Oh no, what happened? The silver leaf drifted gently downward, floating toward the garden, as if quietly saying, "Come quickly." Fen swallowed softly. Something inside him felt nervous again, but also something else, a tiny brave feeling, small but growing. "Come on," he whispered. "I think they need help." Together, they stepped through the garden gate. It was shaped like curling silver vines. Tiny moonflowers wrapped gently around the edges. Their petals shimmered faintly in the dark, though many looked sleepy, too sleepy, as if they were trying very hard to stay awake. The moment Fen stepped inside, a soft breeze drifted through the garden, warm, gentle, and somewhere nearby, he heard quiet voices, whispering, tiny worried whispers. "This way, near the pond. Please hurry." Fen blinked. "Did you hear that?" Little nodded quickly. "I think the flowers are talking." Very carefully, they followed the sound, past glowing pathways, past sleepy lantern trees, past tiny drifting lights floating lazily through the air, until finally they reached the center of the moon garden. And there, beside a shimmering pond, stood the tallest moonflower Fen had ever seen. Its petals glowed silver white, soft and beautiful, though tonight its light looked weaker somehow, curled gently at the edges, as though it felt tired, very tired. Beside it stood an old rabbit. Her fur looked soft as clouds, a silver shawl wrapped around her shoulders. Tiny moon petals rested in her basket, and perched on the end of her nose sat tiny round glasses. Maple gasped quietly. "Grandma?" The rabbit turned. "Oh," her tired face softened immediately. "Maple!" She hurried over as quickly as sleepy grandmas can hurry, which was still very slowly. "Oh, sweetheart, I was worried." Maple ran into her arms. "My lantern stopped working, and I got lost. But Fen helped me." The rabbit smiled warmly at Fen. "Well then, that was very kind." She gave the tiniest sleepy bow. "My name is Clover, keeper of the moon garden." Fen looked around quietly. "What happened here?" Clover's smile faded softly. She turned toward the tallest flower. "The moon blossom is fading." Fen blinked. "The moon blossom?" Clover nodded gently. "It helps the moon glow peacefully each night. But lately," she looked up sadly, "the garden has forgotten how to shine." Fen looked confused. "How do gardens forget?" Clover smiled sadly. "Well, sometimes places become tired too. The flowers stopped hearing bedtime wishes. The moonbirds stopped singing, and little hearts stopped slowing down before sleep. Everything had become too rushed, too noisy, too busy. The moonflowers began losing their glow, little by little, night after night." Maple looked worried. "Can we help?" Clover turned toward them. Her sleepy eyes softened. "Perhaps, but only if we can wake the heart lantern." Fen tilted his head. "The heart lantern?" Clover pointed toward the center of the pond. Floating quietly above the water, rested a lantern unlike anything Fen had ever seen, round and glowing. Golden light shimmered softly inside, but tonight it barely glowed at all, like a sleepy heartbeat growing quiet. "The heart lantern," Clover whispered, "reminds the moon garden how to glow. But it only wakes when kindness lights the way." The whole garden grew quiet, even quieter than before. Then softly, very softly, the tiny lantern flickered once, as though it had heard them. Fen stared quietly at the tiny glowing lantern above the pond. It floated gently in the air. Soft ripples shimmered beneath it, Golden light flickered weakly inside, like a sleepy heartbeat trying very hard not to disappear. Maple stepped closer. So, how do we wake it? Clover adjusted her tiny glasses, very slowly, sleepily. The heart lantern wakes from kindness, from gentle things, from quiet hearts. Fen blinked. That sounds difficult. Clover chuckled softly. Oh, sweetheart. The gentlest things are often the strongest. The garden breeze drifted softly around them. Moonflowers swayed slowly, their sleepy petals glowing faintly in the dark. Then, very softly, a tiny sound floated through the air. Sniff! Sniff! Maple looked around immediately. Someone's crying again. Fen listened carefully. Near the edge of the pond, beneath a sleepy patch of silver flowers, sat a tiny moonbird. Its glowing feathers looked messy. One little wing drooped sadly, and scattered around it lay glowing silver petals. The moonbird sniffled quietly. Fen knelt down beside it. Hello. The moonbird startled slightly. Oh, its voice sounded very tiny, very tired. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother anyone. Maple sat nearby. What happened? The moonbird lowered its head sadly. I dropped the moon petals, and now I can't fly very well. Its tiny wing trembled slightly. The moonflowers won't bloom without them. Fen looked at the scattered petals. There were so many, tiny glowing pieces scattered through the grass, some caught in sleepy weeds, others floating gently near the pond. Oh, Fen whispered softly, that looks hard. The moonbird sniffled again. I tried fixing it, but I'm too tired. For a moment, Fen remembered something. The night, his cozy house, how scared he had felt leaving home, how nervous he still felt sometimes. Being small could feel very big, very difficult. He looked toward Maple, then quietly smiled. We can help. Maple smiled too. We're good at helping. The moonbird blinked. Really? Really, Fen said softly. And very carefully, the little fox began picking up petals, one at a time. Maple helped too. Tiny silver petals glowed warmly in their paws. The tiny firefly in Maple's lantern blinked sleepily, as if cheering them on. The garden grew quieter somehow, softer. Moonflowers gently swayed overhead, and little by little, something changed. The heart lantern flickered brighter, just a tiny bit. Warm golden light shimmered softly across the pond. Clover smiled quietly from nearby. Oh, it noticed. Maple looked up. The lantern? Clover nodded. Kindness makes sleepy things stronger. Fen carefully gathered the last petal. There, all finished. The moonbird looked down. Its sleepy eyes widened. You helped me, without even asking for anything. Fen tilted his head. Friends help friends. The moonbird's tiny chest puffed softly. Then, very gently, it spread its wing. A faint silver glow shimmered across the feathers. The droopy wing lifted just a little. Oh, Maple whispered, you're healing. The moonbird blinked in surprise. I feel a little braver. Then slowly the moonbird lifted into the air, not perfectly, not fast, but enough. Enough to fly. It circled gently overhead, leaving tiny glowing trails of silver dust, and suddenly, the heart lantern glowed brighter again. Warm gold light spread across the pond. Moonflowers nearby shimmered softly. Some sleepy petals slowly opened, as though waking from a dream. Fen's eyes widened. It's working. But then, the lantern flickered again. Still too weak, still tired. Clover gave a tiny, thoughtful hum. One kind thing helped, but I think the garden still needs more. She looked farther across the hills toward the darker side of the moon garden, where shadows rested quietly beneath sleepy trees. I think someone else may still need help tonight. garden grew quiet again. Moonflowers swayed softly in the breeze. The heart lantern glowed warmer than before, but still not bright enough. Not yet. Golden light shimmered gently across the pond, then flickered. Small, sleepy, tired. Fen looked up at Clover. So, who still needs help? Clover turned slowly toward the far side of the moon garden, beyond the glowing paths, beyond the sleepy flower hills, where shadows curled gently beneath silver trees. The dream tree? She whispered. Maple blinked. The dream tree? Clover nodded softly. It helps little nighttime wishes float safely into dreams. But tonight, her voice lowered. The dream tree has gone quiet. Fen looked across the hills. Far in the distance, he could just barely see it. A beautiful silver tree resting beneath the moon. Its branches stretched high into the sky. Tiny lantern fruits hung from the limbs. But unlike the others, this one barely glowed. Almost dark, almost lonely. What happened? Fen whispered. Clover sighed gently. A tiny squirrel named Pip lives there. He watches over the lantern fruits. But lately, she looked worried. He's been trying to do everything alone. The wind drifted softly through the garden, warm, sleepy, quiet. Sometimes, Clover whispered, when someone feels too overwhelmed, they forget they don't have to carry everything by themselves. Maple held her lantern tighter. That sounds lonely. Fen nodded slowly. He knew what lonely felt like. At least a little. The silver leaf floated upward once more, drifting quietly toward the darker hills, waiting, patiently, like before. Clover smiled softly at them. I think the garden chose wisely tonight. Fen blinked. The garden chose us? Oh yes, Clover whispered. The moon garden always notices gentle hearts. Maple smiled shyly. The tiny firefly blinked warmly inside her lantern, as if agreeing. Clover reached into her basket and gently handed Fen something small, a tiny glowing flower lantern. Its petals shimmered soft silver. For dark paths, she whispered, it shines brighter when kindness is near. Fen held it carefully. Warm light glowed softly in his paws, comforting somehow, safe. He looked toward the distant dream tree. The hills ahead seemed quieter, sleepier, a little mysterious, but somehow less scary now. Maple stood beside him. You're not going without me. Fen smiled softly. I was hoping you'd say that. Together, they turned toward the sleepy hills. One tiny fox, one tiny hedgehog, two glowing lanterns, and far away, beneath the quiet moon, the lonely dream tree waited patiently in the night, as though hoping someone kind might finally come. Fen and Maple followed the winding path through the moon garden. Slowly, quietly, the hills rolled gently beneath the moonlight. Silver grass shimmered softly around their paws, and every now and then, tiny sleepy lights drifted through the air, like dreams floating somewhere they needed to be. Fen held the little flower lantern close. Its warm silver glow softly lit the path ahead. Maple's lantern blinked gently beside him, the sleepy firefly still resting inside. Everything felt quieter here. The farther they walked, the softer the garden seemed, almost like the whole world had lowered its voice. Then, very softly, they heard something strange. Tap, tap, rustle, tap. Fen stopped walking. Maple did too. Did you hear that? She whispered. Fen nodded. The sound came again. Tap, rustle, tap, like someone trying very hard to fix something. Very quietly, very sadly. The path curved around a sleepy hill, and finally, They saw it. The dream tree. "Oh," Maple whispered. It was enormous. Silver branches stretched high into the night sky. Hundreds of tiny lantern fruits hung from its limbs. Soft glowing lanterns shaped like stars, clouds, little moons, tiny sleepy hearts. Usually they probably glowed beautifully, but tonight, many were dark. Others flickered weakly, like tiny bedtime wishes growing tired. At the very top, one branch drooped sadly toward the ground, and beneath it sat the tiniest squirrel Fen had ever seen. He wore a little satchel stuffed with ribbons, tiny tools scattered around him, lantern hooks, little glowing thread, moon petals, and despite looking very sleepy, he was still trying to fix everything himself. Tap, tap, rustle. The squirrel sighed heavily. "Oh no, not again." One lantern slipped from the branch, boop, right onto his head. He flopped backward dramatically. "Oh dear, this is impossible." Fen stepped closer carefully. "Hello." The squirrel startled. "Oh." He quickly stood up, tried to look very serious, very grown up, even though he was extremely tiny. "Oh, visitors." He dusted himself off. "I'm very busy." "Very important tree work." Maple tilted her head. "You look tired." The squirrel froze. "I am not tired." Right then, he yawned, a huge sleepy yawn, so big he nearly tipped over again. Maple blinked slowly. "You seem tired." The squirrel sighed. "Maybe a little." Fen sat beside him quietly. "My name is Fen. This is Maple." The squirrel looked hesitant. "Pip." Maple smiled kindly. "We came to help." Pip immediately shook his head. "Oh no. No. I can handle it. I always handle it." Fen looked up at the dream tree. Many lantern fruits hung crooked. Some had fallen, others barely glowed. "That looks like a lot for one squirrel." Pip's tiny ears drooped. His little paws tightened around his tools. "Well," he whispered, "if I stop fixing things, the dreams won't know where to go." The wind drifted softly through the branches. Tiny lanterns swayed overhead. Warm, sleepy light flickered across Pip's face. He looked smaller somehow, lonelier, like he had been carrying something very heavy for a very long time. Fen thought carefully, then sat beside him, very quietly. "You know," he whispered, "sometimes being brave means letting someone help." Pip blinked. The words settled softly into the night. Maple gently placed her lantern beside him. "You don't have to do everything alone." For a moment, everything became very quiet, only the soft rustle of silver leaves above them. Then, very softly, Pip's tiny voice cracked. "Really?" Fen smiled. "Really?" And somewhere far behind them, across the moon garden, the heart lantern flickered brighter again, as though it had been listening. The silver branches above them swayed gently in the breeze. Tiny lantern fruits rocked softly, back and forth, like sleepy little stars trying not to fall asleep. Pip looked down at his tiny paws, still clutching ribbons, still holding tools, but somehow they looked heavier now, like he had been carrying too much for too long. "I just didn't want the dreams to get lost," he whispered quietly. Maple sat beside him. "They won't. We'll help." Pip blinked. "You really would?" Fen smiled softly. "Of course. Friends help friends." For a moment, Pip didn't say anything. Then very slowly, his tiny shoulders relaxed, just a little. "Okay," he whispered, "but there's a lot to fix." Fen looked up at the dream tree. Lantern fruits hung crooked. Some had slipped loose, others had gone dark. A few tiny dream ribbons fluttered sadly from broken branches. Maple smiled. "Then we'll fix one thing at a time." The little firefly blinked warmly inside her lantern, as if agreeing. Pip gave the tiniest sleepy laugh. Okay, one thing at a time. Very carefully, the three little friends got to work. Fen gathered fallen lantern fruits from the grass. Maple gently tied sleepy ribbons back around the branches. And Pip, for the very first time all night, stopped trying to do everything himself. Instead, he showed them where help was needed. Could you hang this one there? He whispered, and maybe that star lantern too? Fen stood on tiptoes, stretching as high as he could. Maple carefully steadied the branch. The little firefly glowed brighter, helping light the way. Little by little, the dream tree began to change. Dark lanterns slowly shimmered back to life. One tiny moon lantern glowed silver. A cloud-shaped lantern warmed gold. A tiny star lantern blinked sleepily awake. Soft light spread gently through the branches. Higher, higher, until suddenly, a tiny glowing wish floated free. Fen blinked. What's that? Pip's sleepy eyes widened. A bedtime wish. The tiny glowing light drifted upward slowly, soft as moon mist, warm as blankets. And just before disappearing into the sky, it whispered quietly, I hope tomorrow feels gentle. Maple's eyes lightened. That was beautiful. Pip smiled shyly. The dream tree sends little wishes into dreams. But lately, his ears drooped again. They stopped floating. Fen looked around, then quietly pointed upward. Well, they're floating now. Pip looked and froze. More tiny wishes had begun drifting into the night, small glowing lights rising through the branches. One whispered, I hope my teddy feels brave. Another, I hope grandma feels cozy. Another, I hope nobody feels lonely tonight. The whole tree shimmered warmer now. Lantern fruits glowed softly overhead, like stars waking one by one. Then, far across the hills, something golden flashed. Warm light spread across the moon garden. The heart lantern, glowing brighter, much brighter. Maple gasped softly, It's working! Pip looked up, his tiny mouth opened slightly. We really helped. Fen smiled. You helped too. Pip looked surprised, but I wasn't doing enough. Fen shook his head gently. You were trying very hard. You just didn't have to do it alone. The breeze drifted softly through the tree, warm, gentle, comforting. Pip looked up at the glowing branches, then quietly whispered, I think I forgot that. And somewhere above the clouds, the moon seemed just a tiny bit brighter than before. The moon garden felt warmer now, softer somehow, like the whole night had taken a sleepy little breath. Tiny wishes floated upward through the dream tree branches, slowly, peacefully. And above them, the moon shimmered brighter than before. Not fully bright yet, but brighter, hopeful. Fen smiled quietly. Maybe they really were helping. Then, without warning, the tiny flower lantern Clover had given him flickered, once, twice, then glowed brighter than ever. Warm silver light spilled gently across the hill. Pip blinked. Oh, that means something. Maple tilted her head. What does it mean? Pip looked toward the farthest hill of the garden, past the lantern trees, past the silver pond, where soft mist curled beneath the moonlight. The sleeping bell tower, he whispered. Fen blinked. The what? Pip lowered his voice automatically, like the place itself was already sleepy. The tower rings one tiny bell every night. The sound helps the whole garden rest. The flowers, the moonbirds, the drifting dreams, everything. Maple held her lantern tighter. And tonight, Pip hesitated. The bell never rang. The night suddenly felt quieter, too quiet. Fen listened carefully. He hadn't noticed before. But Pip was right. Something felt missing, like bedtime had forgotten one small thing, one soft little sound. "The tower keeper," Pip whispered, "hasn't been seen all evening." The breeze drifted gently through the grass. Soft mist curled around the hill. Somewhere far away, the faint outline of a tiny tower rested beneath the moon. Its windows dark, its silver bell completely still. Maple swallowed softly. "That feels a little spooky." "Only a tiny bit spooky," Pip said quickly. "Mostly sleepy spooky." Fen smiled a little. That somehow sounded less scary. The little flower lantern glowed warmly again, as though quietly saying, "This way." Maple looked at Fen. Fen looked at Pip. Pip looked very unsure. "I usually don't go near the bell tower," he admitted. "Too quiet. Too lonely." Fen thought for a moment, then gently held up his lantern. "Well, you don't have to go alone." Maple lifted hers too, "and neither do we." For a moment, Pip said nothing. Then slowly the tiniest smile appeared. "Okay, one sleepy fox, one tiny hedgehog, one very tired squirrel, 3 glowing lanterns, and somewhere ahead, beneath the silver moon, the sleeping bell tower waited quietly in the mist, as though it had been waiting for someone kind to arrive." As they walked farther down the hill, the moon garden behind them began glowing softly again. Tiny wishes floated peacefully into the sky. Lantern fruits shimmered warm gold. Moonflowers slowly opened their sleepy petals. And far behind them, the heart lantern glowed brighter still, but not fully. Not yet. As if the night still had one last sleepy thing left to heal. The path to the Sleeping Bell Tower curved gently through the mist. Soft silver fog curled around their paws. Not thick, not scary, just sleepy, very sleepy. Like clouds had wandered down from the sky to rest among the hills. The moon shone quietly above them now, a little brighter than before, but still waiting, still hoping. Fen held his flower lantern close. Its warm glow shimmered softly across the path. Maple's lantern blinked beside him. The tiny firefly inside looked very comfortable, almost ready for bed. Pip walked carefully behind them, holding his tiny satchel, though now he didn't seem quite so worried anymore. The farther they walked, the quieter everything became. Even the wind grew softer, as if the whole moon garden had begun whispering. Then, very faintly, they heard something. A low sleepy sound drifted through the mist. Warm, slow, almost like someone humming to themselves. Maple lowered her voice. "Do you hear that?" Fen nodded. Pip's tiny ears twitched. "That's new." The tower finally appeared through the silver fog. "Oh," Maple whispered. It was beautiful, tall and silver. Not huge, but gentle looking. Curving vines wrapped softly around its sides. Tiny glowing flowers climbed the walls, and near the very top hung the sleeping bell, round and silver, quiet beneath the moon, too quiet. A tiny wooden sign rested near the door. "Please enter softly. Dreams are resting nearby." Fen smiled a little. "Everything here is sleepy." Maple giggled quietly. Even Pip smiled. Very tiny, very sleepy. The old wooden door stood slightly open. A warm golden glow flickered faintly inside. Fen stepped forward carefully. "Hello?" No answer, only the soft humming sound again. Slow, gentle, like someone trying to remember a lullaby. Creak, the little door opened wider. Inside, the tower felt warm, cozy. Lantern light flickered softly against curved walls. Tiny shelves filled with bells lined the room. round bells, star-shaped bells, little moon bells no bigger than acorns. And in the very center, curled up inside a rocking chair, sat the tiniest mouse imaginable. She wore fluffy slippers, a sleepy scarf wrapped around her shoulders, and resting beside her lay the tiniest silver bell rope. The little mouse rocked gently, back, forth, quietly humming. But something looked wrong. Her tiny eyes looked worried, very worried. Fen stepped closer. "Hello?" The mouse startled softly. "Oh dear," she nearly tipped out of her chair. "Oh goodness. I didn't hear anyone come in." Her voice sounded warm, but very tired. Maple smiled kindly. "We came to check on the bell." The mouse's tiny ears drooped immediately. "Oh, the bell." She looked sadly toward the silver rope. "I'm afraid I couldn't ring it tonight." "But why?" The tiny mouse looked embarrassed. Her paws twisted together nervously. "My name is Tilly, and I'm the bell keeper." She took a tiny breath. "But tonight, I became scared." The room grew very quiet, even quieter than before. Tilly looked toward the tall staircase curling upward. The bell rope snapped earlier, and I climbed up to fix it, but the tower feels very tall at night. Her tiny voice became smaller, and I got frightened. So I came back down, just for a little rest. She looked down sadly, but then I worried and worried and worried some more. Fen sat quietly beside her. He knew that feeling. The feeling when something scary suddenly felt too big, even for brave hearts. Maple gently held up her lantern. "It's okay to feel scared." Pip nodded softly. "Sometimes I feel overwhelmed." Tilly blinked. "You do?" "All the time," Pip whispered. That made Tilly smile a tiny little smile. "Really?" Fen nodded. "Sometimes brave doesn't mean not being scared." He thought quietly for a moment, then softly added, "Sometimes brave means you let someone stand beside you." The tiny mouse looked up. Her sleepy eyes shimmered softly in the lantern light. Outside, the moon glowed just a little brighter again, as though it had been listening. Tilly looked down at her tiny paws, still twisting nervously together. The little silver bell rope rested beside her chair, soft, quiet, broken. "I wanted to fix it," she whispered. "I really did. But the tower feels so tall at night." Her tiny voice became smaller. "And what if I slipped? And what if I dropped the bell? And what if bedtime became all mixed up?" Maple moved closer, very gently. "You don't have to climb alone. We can help." Tilly blinked. "All of you?" Fen smiled softly. "All of us." For a moment, the tiny mouse simply stared at them. Then very quietly, her shoulders relaxed, just a little. "Okay, but only if we go slowly." "We can go slowly," Fen promised. Very slowly, the four little friends climbed the winding staircase. Step by sleepy step, round and round the tower curled. Tiny lanterns glowed softly on the walls. Warm gold light flickered gently around them. Halfway up, Tilly stopped. "Oh dear, it's still very high." Her tiny paws trembled slightly. Fen sat beside her immediately. "No rushing, no pressure, just quiet company." "It's okay," he whispered. "We can rest for a moment." Maple smiled softly. "Slow is still brave." Pip nodded. "And nobody climbs lonely tonight." Tilly looked at them, really looked at them, and somehow, the tower didn't feel quite so scary anymore. Outside the little window, the moon watched quietly overhead, soft, patient, gentle. After a tiny rest, they continued climbing, step by sleepy step, until finally, they reached the top. "Oh," Maple whispered. The view was beautiful. The whole moon garden shimmered below, silver hills, glowing moonflowers, tiny drifting wishes floating through the night, and far away the heart lantern glowed warm gold, brighter than before, still waiting, still hopeful. At the very center of the tower hung the sleeping bell, round and silver, beautiful beneath the moonlight, but dangling beside it hung the broken rope. Tilly swallowed nervously. I tried fixing it earlier, but I got scared. Fen carefully picked up the rope. Maple held the lantern closer. Pip opened his satchel. I brought moon thread, he whispered proudly. Tiny glowing silver thread shimmered inside. Together, very carefully, they began fixing the rope, one tiny knot, then another. Maple steadied the ribbon. Pip tied careful loops. Fen gently held everything in place, and Tilly slowly, carefully helped too. At first, her paws shook, just a little, but the more they worked together, the steadier she became, the less scary everything felt. Finally, Pip gave the tiniest sleepy nod. I think it's fixed. The little rope shimmered softly beneath the moonlight. Everyone grew quiet. Tilly looked at the bell, then at the long pull rope. Her tiny paws hesitated. What if I'm still scared? She whispered. Fen thought quietly, then smiled. You can be scared. He gently placed one paw on the rope. Maple added hers. Pip too. You just don't have to be scared alone. The tiniest smile appeared on Tilly's face. Slowly, she placed her paws beside theirs. One sleepy fox, one tiny hedgehog, one tired squirrel, one brave little mouse. Together they pulled, very gently. Ding! The sound floated softly into the night. Warm, silver, peaceful. Not loud, not startling, just soft enough for sleepy hearts. The moon garden grew still. Then, something beautiful happened. Moonflowers slowly opened across the hills. Dream lanterns shimmered brightly. Moonbirds lifted gently into the sky. Tiny bedtime wishes floated higher. And far away, the heart lantern burst into warm golden light. Bright, cozy, alive again. Above them, the moon glowed brighter than ever. Soft silver light wrapped gently across the whole sleeping world, as though bedtime itself had finally remembered how to rest. The bell's gentle sound drifted softly across the moon garden. Ding, slowly, peacefully, like a lullaby floating through the stars. Silver light shimmered over the hills. Moonflowers stretched open sleepily. Tiny glowing petals danced through the breeze. And everywhere, the garden began glowing again. Warm, safe, cozy. Maple looked over the balcony. Oh, everything looks happy again. Pip smiled shyly. Even the lantern fruits on the dream tree sparkled brighter. Tiny wishes floated peacefully upward. One whispered softly, I hope tomorrow feels cozy. Another floated gently by, I hope everyone sleeps safely tonight. Tilly held the bell rope carefully, her tiny paws no longer shaking. We did it, she whispered. Fen smiled. No, we all did it. Tilly looked toward the moon, brighter now, round and glowing peacefully above the clouds, and somehow the whole night felt calmer, like bedtime had finally settled in again. Then, very softly, a warm breeze drifted through the tower. Golden sparkles shimmered around them. Tiny sleepy lights floated in the air, and suddenly the silver leaf returned, drifting gently into the room. Alongside it came Clover. The sleepy rabbit smiled warmly. Oh my! Her eyes sparkled kindly behind her tiny glasses. The moon garden hasn't glowed like this in a very long time. Maple hurried over. Grandma? Clover hugged her gently. I'm very proud of you. She looked at Pip, and you remembered, you don't have to carry everything alone. Pip's ears drooped shyly. I think I forgot that. Clover smiled softly. That happens sometimes. Then she turned toward Tilly. And brave little bellkeeper, Tilly blinked nervously. I was still scared. Clover nodded. Oh, sweetheart, being brave while scared still counts. Tilly's tiny eyes shimmered. The tower grew quiet again, soft, peaceful. Then Clover turned toward Fen. And little Fox, you followed kindness tonight. Fen blinked. I just wanted to help. The gentlest hearts often help the brightest, Clover whispered. She reached into her basket and pulled out something tiny, a lantern. But unlike any lantern Fen had ever seen, small enough to hold in both paws, golden light glowed softly inside. Tiny silver stars shimmered across its glass. A moon lantern, Clover said gently, for helping the garden remember how to shine. Fen held it carefully. Warm light spread softly across his fur, comforting somehow. Safe. But, he whispered, I didn't do it alone. Clover smiled warmly. That's exactly why you earned it. Outside, the moon shimmered peacefully over the hills, bright again, calm again. And for the first time all night, Fen felt something warm settle quietly in his chest. Not nervousness, not worry, just peace. The kind of sleepy peace that makes the world feel gentle. After a while, the friends sat together near the tower balcony, watching sleepy clouds drift slowly overhead. Moonbirds glided softly through the sky, and somewhere below, the moon garden hummed quietly again, warm, alive, peaceful. Eventually, Clover gave the tiniest sleepy yawn. Well, I think bedtime has finally arrived. Maple giggled quietly. Pip yawned too. Then Tilly. Then, without warning, Fen yawned the biggest yawn of all. Everyone laughed softly. The sleepy kind of laugh, the kind that feels warm before dreams. And somewhere high above, the moon glowed quietly, watching over them all, as though whispering softly, everything is okay now. The night grew softer, quieter, sleepier. The moon garden shimmered peacefully beneath the stars. Everything finally felt calm again. After a little while, Clover stood slowly, very slowly, in the sleepy grandma way. Well then, I believe it's time for everyone to head home. Maple yawned softly. Pip yawned too. Even Tilly covered a tiny sleepy mouse yawn with both paws. Fen looked out over the glowing hills one last time. The moonflowers swayed peacefully. Dream wishes floated into the sky. Moonbirds glided lazily overhead. And the heart lantern, warm and golden, glowed brighter than ever. The whole garden felt safe, like a bedtime story finally finding its ending. Then, the silver leaf drifted gently back toward Fen. Floating quietly in front of him, its soft glow shimmered once, as though saying, "This way home." "Oh," Fen whispered. "I think it wants me to follow." Maple smiled sleepily. "Can we walk together?" Pip nodded quickly. "At least part of the way." Tilly smiled too. "I'd like that." So together, the four sleepy friends walked through the glowing garden, past the moon blossom, past the silver pond, past lantern trees swaying softly in the breeze. Everything seemed brighter now, warmer, kinder somehow. As they passed the dream tree, tiny glowing wishes floated gently overhead. One whispered softly, "I hope tomorrow feels brave." Another drifted past, "I hope sleepy hearts feel safe." And one tiny wish floated closest to Fen. So close, he almost thought it was speaking directly to him. "I hope kindness always finds its way home." Fen smiled quietly. He liked that wish, very much. Soon, they reached the silver vine bridge again. the place where sleepy clouds drifted lazily beneath the sky. Pip stopped there. "This is my turn," he whispered. The tiny squirrel adjusted his satchel, though somehow he looked lighter now, less worried. "Thank you for helping me remember I don't have to do everything alone." Fen smiled softly. "You helped us too." Maple gave Pip a tiny hug, the sleepy kind. Then Pip scampered gently back toward the glowing hills, every now and then turning to wave. A little farther ahead, they reached the bell tower path. Tilly stopped there, her tiny scarf fluttered softly in the breeze. "I think I'm not quite as scared anymore," Maple smiled. "You were really brave," Tilly giggled quietly. "Even while scared?" "Especially while scared," Fen whispered. That made Tilly smile the biggest smile of the whole night. Then she waved softly and disappeared back through the silver mist, toward the sleeping bell. Soon, only Fen and Maple remained. The forest had grown quieter now, cozy, sleepy, like the whole night was slowly curling up beneath a blanket. The silver leaf floated gently ahead, leading them back toward home. Eventually, they reached the little mushroom path again, glowing softly beneath the moon. Maple looked sleepy now, very sleepy. Her lantern glowed warm beside her. "My grandma says," she whispered through a yawn, "the best adventures are the ones that help hearts feel lighter." Fen thought quietly about that. The lonely moonbird, Pip, Tilly, the glowing garden, and somehow his own little heart did feel lighter, warmer too, maybe helping others help sleepy hearts feel safe. Eventually, tiny warm lights appeared through the trees. Maple's home, a cozy little burrow beneath silver flowers. Clover waited outside, wrapped in her sleepy shawl. "Well," she whispered kindly, "someone looks very tired." Maple giggled sleepily, then hugged Fen tightly. "Thank you for the adventure," Fen smiled. "Thank you for helping." Before stepping inside, Maple turned. "Oh, one more thing." She held out something tiny, a little silver flower pin for your scarf. "So you remember the moon garden?" Fen carefully pinned it beside his green scarf. Warm light shimmered softly across it. "I'll never forget," he whispered. Then, at last, the silver leaf drifted onward, toward home, and slowly, one sleepy little fox followed. The path home felt softer now, gentler, as though the whole forest had wrapped itself in a sleepy blanket. The silver leaf floated quietly ahead, twisting slowly in the moonlight. No hurry, just a calm little path through the trees. Fen walked slowly beneath the silver sky, his tiny paws soft against the glowing stones. His green scarf fluttered gently in the breeze, and beside it, the little silver flower pin shimmered softly, warm, comforting, like the moon garden was still quietly saying hello. Above him, the moon glowed brighter than ever, peaceful, safe, no longer dim, no longer tired, and somehow that made Fen's sleepy heart feel warm. The forest looked different now, not scary, not mysterious, just quiet, friendly somehow. Fireflies drifted lazily between the trees, tiny glowing lights blinking softly, like sleepy little guardians watching over the night. Soon, Fen recognized the mushroom path. The little glowing mushrooms still shimmered softly beside the trail, blue, gold, silver. Only now, they seemed brighter. Or maybe, Fen simply felt braver. After all, times adventures changed tiny hearts in quiet ways. Eventually, through the trees, he saw it. His little house, round, cozy, warm golden light glowing softly through the window. "Oh," Fen whispered quietly, "home." The silver leaf drifted slowly downward, landing softly near his front door. Its glow flickered gently, then softer and softer, until finally it rested peacefully on the grass, as though its little journey was complete. Fen carefully picked it up. "Thank you," he whispered. The leaf shimmered once. Tiny silver sparkles floated into the air. Then slowly, very slowly, it turned into moonlight and drifted quietly into the sky. Fen stood still for a moment, watching, until the last tiny sparkle disappeared. Then, very softly, he opened the little wooden door. Creak. Warmth greeted him immediately. His tiny home smelled like sleepy tea and soft blankets and cedar wood. Everything familiar, everything safe. His little chair rested beside the window. His tiny blanket folded neatly nearby, and waiting on the table sat a tiny cup of warm moonberry tea. Still warm somehow. Fen blinked. "Oh?" A tiny note rested beside it, written in sleepy silver letters. "For brave little hearts. Sleep well tonight." Fen smiled softly. Maybe, just maybe, the moon garden had left him one last little thank you. He curled into his chair, wrapped his fluffy tail around himself, and looked out the window. The moon shone peacefully overhead now, bright and calm, like an old friend smiling quietly through the night. "Good night, moon," Fen whispered softly. And this time, for just the tiniest moment, he could almost swear, the moon shimmered back, as if whispering, "Good night, little fox." Fen drank his warm tea, slowly, sleepily, then padded quietly to bed. He tucked himself beneath his soft blankets, the tiny moon lantern resting safely beside him. Its golden light glowed softly in the dark, warm, cozy, gentle. Outside, the wind whispered softly through the trees. Moonbirds drifted lazily overhead, and somewhere far away, deep within the glowing hills, the sleeping bell gave one final sleepy sound. Ding. Soft enough for dreams, soft enough for sleepy hearts. And before long, Fen's eyes grew heavy, very heavy. His breathing slowed, the kind of slow that comes when everything feels okay again, when worries grow smaller, when hearts feel safe. And as the little fox drifted gently toward dreams, he thought about Maple, Pip, Tilly, Clover, the glowing garden, and how sometimes the smallest acts of kindness shine brighter than the moon itself. Because even on quiet nights, when the world feels sleepy and soft, kind hearts always help lost light find its way home. And somewhere above the clouds, the moon watched peacefully, bright, warm, gentle, keeping watch over sleepy little hearts everywhere. The end. Sweet dreams, little sleepy friend. The path home felt softer now, gentler, as though the whole forest had wrapped itself in a sleepy blanket. The silver leaf floated quietly ahead, twisting slowly in the moonlight. No rushing, no hurry, just a calm little path through the trees. Fen walked slowly beneath the silver sky, his tiny paws soft against the glowing stones. His green scarf fluttered gently in the breeze, and beside it, the little silver flower pin shimmered softly, warm, comforting, like the moon garden was still quietly saying hello. Above him, the moon glowed brighter than ever, peaceful, safe, no longer dim, no longer tired. And somehow, that made Fen's sleepy heart feel warm. The forest looked different now, not scary, not mysterious, just quiet, friendly somehow. Fireflies drifted lazily between the trees, tiny glowing lights blinking softly, like sleepy little guardians watching over the night. Soon, Fen recognized the mushroom path. The little glowing mushrooms still shimmered softly beside the trail, blue, gold, silver. Only now, they seemed brighter, Or maybe Fen simply felt braver. After all, sometimes adventures change tiny hearts in quiet ways. Eventually, through the trees, he saw it. His little house, round, cozy, warm golden light glowing softly through the window. Oh, Fen whispered quietly, home. The silver leaf drifted slowly downward, landing softly near his front door. Its glow flickered gently, then softer and softer, until finally it rested peacefully on the grass, as though its little journey was complete. Fen carefully picked it up. Thank you, he whispered. The leaf shimmered once, tiny silver sparkles floated into the air. Then slowly, very slowly, it turned into moonlight and drifted quietly into the sky. Fen stood still for a moment, watching, until the last tiny sparkle disappeared. Then, very softly, he opened the little wooden door, creak. Warmth greeted him immediately. His tiny home smelled like sleepy tea and soft blankets and cedar wood. Everything familiar, everything safe. His little chair rested beside the window, his tiny blanket folded neatly nearby, and waiting on the table sat a tiny cup of warm moonberry tea, still warm somehow. Fen blinked. Oh, a tiny note rested beside it, written in sleepy silver letters. For brave little hearts, sleep well tonight. Fen smiled softly. Maybe, just maybe, the moon garden had left him one last little thank you. He curled into his chair, wrapped his fluffy tail around himself, and looked out the window. The moon shone peacefully overhead now, bright and calm, like an old friend smiling quietly through the night. Good night, moon, Fen whispered softly. And this time, for just the tiniest moment, he could almost swear, the moon shimmered back, as if whispering, good night, little fox. Fen drank his warm tea, slowly, sleepily, then padded quietly to bed. He tucked himself beneath his soft blankets, the tiny moon lantern resting safely beside him. Its golden light glowed softly in the dark, warm, cozy, gentle. Outside, the wind whispered softly through the trees. Moonbirds drifted lazily overhead, and somewhere far away, deep within the glowing hills, the sleeping bell gave one final sleepy sound. Soft enough for dreams, soft enough for sleepy hearts. And before long, Fen's eyes grew heavy, very heavy. His breathing slowed, kind of slow that comes when everything feels okay again, when worries grow smaller, when hearts feel safe. And as the little fox drifted gently toward dreams, he thought about Maple, Pip, Tilly, Clover, the glowing garden, and how sometimes the smallest acts of kindness shine brighter than the moon itself. Because even on quiet nights, when the world feels sleepy and soft, kind hearts always help lost light find its way home. And somewhere above the clouds, the moon watched peacefully, bright, warm, gentle, keeping watch over sleepy little hearts everywhere. The end. Sweet dreams, little sleepy friend.